Hi everyone. Most of the top B schools have started requesting the candidates to fill a personal data form. As part of this form, candidates have been asked to write an SOP, that is statement of purpose, or provide some details about their career objective. So in this video, I'm going to provide you a step-by-step approach to create an effective SOP. This video will also be helpful if you just need to write a career objective. Also, when you prepare the SOP document, you are accumulating the talking points for your personal interview. So this video is going to be a slightly longer one, as I have tried to provide you maximum possible details so that you can create an SOP with ease and also get ready for your interview stage. So watch this video till the end and don't forget to hit the like button and do share it with your friends. So let's quickly understand what is the agenda of this session. So first we will understand what is an SOP. Then we will understand the difference between the answers to SOP and career objective questions. Then we will look at some important points to keep in mind while creating an SOP. You can also call it do's and don'ts. After that, we will understand the structure of the SOP. This is very important to create an effective SOP. I'll also provide you some questions using which you will be able to collect the points for your own SOP. And then we will look at some sample SOPs. In fact, I'm going to show you two SOPs. I'll provide you two SOPs and I'll also provide those document links in the description, so you can also check the description. And we will also look at some commonly committed mistakes. And before I proceed, just want to quickly tell you about myself in case if you are new to my session. So once again, my name is Ronak Shah and I teach quantitative aptitude, logical reasoning and data interpretation, and I also prepare students for interview. And in case if you are planning to take up CAT next year, then you can definitely enroll yourself for Unacademy Plus or Iconic courses using my code SHAH10 as displayed on the screen. You will find the link in the description and you can also pass on the message to your fellow colleagues. If you wish to join my Telegram channel, the Telegram ID has been displayed on the screen and the link has also been provided in the description, so you can quickly join it for all the important updates. Now let's understand what is an SOP. So an SOP acts as a bridge between your past academics, or you can say experiences, and the future that you want to build. A statement of purpose is an essay stating the intent behind applying to a particular course of a college, that is an MBA program. It should ideally summarize who you are, what do you want to become, and how ready are you to pursue the MBA program. Through this essay, the selection committee tried to understand the candidate's life, the motivations for the chosen career path, and the goals, along with what unique value proposition the candidate brings in with him or her. Now let's understand the difference between the answers to statement of purpose and career objective. So as displayed on the screen, in terms of length, SOP is a slightly more detailed essay, while career objective is more specific and short. In SOP, you talk about your life or journey till date and then talk about the future goals and how this MBA program will help you to achieve that. While in career objective, you mainly focus on the future goals and align it with your decision to choose the MBA program. So that's the reason SOP is slightly more detailed. Now let's look at the important points to keep in mind before you start writing your SOP. As I mentioned, you can also call it do's and don'ts. So the first point is you should be very clear about every single word that you have mentioned in your SOP, as you can be asked questions on that during the interview, particularly on the adjectives that you have used about yourself, the quotes or the popular personality that you have mentioned, or the technical terms that you have used in the SOP. So make a point to be very clear so that you do not get troubled during the interview. The second point is the SOP gives a certain direction to your interview. So mention only those points that you want to be asked during the personal interview. The third point is it should be in the essay form and not in the bullet points form, with the opening paragraph, the body part and the closing paragraph. So many students write SOP in the bullet form. That's not the correct way. The next point is the flow of the SOP should be in a story form so that the reader stays engaged. There is no perfect SOP, so don't overthink. Just make sure to include the important points as I mentioned at the beginning. Then do not start with cheesy quotes or you can say proverbs. That's too old nowadays. Then avoid being too emotional. Do not get carried away. The same should be taken care even during the interview. Many a times I've seen students mentioning that way that I'm from a very poor background, I'm from a small village and so on and so forth. So don't mention these points. The next thing that you need to keep in mind is try to be concise and to the point without getting into much of details. So be as crisp and concise as possible. Do not convey vague idea. be very clear and convey it clearly. Okay, so for example, students mention it like this: I want to do something in finance. So don't use this kind of words, something, mostly, and so on so forth. Then I'll suggest that you use simple English, no need to use heavy words. The next part is the opening and closing paragraphs are very important in your SOP. So spend a good amount of time to think over that and then write it carefully. The opening paragraph should entice some kind of curiosity among the readers so that they are compelled to read it completely. In the closing paragraph, you should sound focused and confident about your future goals. Then make sure that it is grammatically error-free. You can also use free softwares like Grammarly for this purpose. You can Google about that. Don't use word I too much when you write your SOP, and do not use the short forms. Also, you can use the online reading app and hear it out for yourself, and what you have written, you will surely be able to refine it further. So, whatever we have written, if someone tells us, and if we are listening to that, we will find the mistakes, or will also find the flaws in the paragraph, and we'll be able to rectify it further. So do this thing. You can use the online app for this purpose. Finally, get your SOP evaluated by someone before submitting it, as it is important to understand how it is being perceived by the other person. For example, you would like to reconfirm whether a particular point is being interpreted in the same way as you had thought, or it conveys a different idea. So it's very important that you get it evaluated by someone. It may be expert, or it may be someone who is good at English. That should be okay. Now let's look at structure of an SOP. The SOP for Indian MBA colleges can be of up to 300 to 400 words and can be divided in 4 paragraphs in 4 parts as shown on the screen. The first part is called opening paragraph or introduction. Then comes the body paragraph 1, then body paragraph 2, and the last part is called closing paragraph. Note that the SOP for the universities abroad are slightly longer and even more detailed. So let's understand what to include in each paragraph in order to create an impressive SOP. So let's talk about the opening paragraph. This paragraph is often confused with self-introduction. Do not use this to introduce yourself, but it should highlight what you are about to discuss in your SOP. Start with your long-term goal and connect it with your idea of pursuing the MBA program. Then present your understanding about the management program and explain how it will help you achieve your future goals. You can also write about an incident that help you realize your professional interest, that is building a startup or excelling in the field of finance, etc. And because of which you are planning to go for or planning to pursue management education. There is one more way of writing the opening paragraph, and let me show you that as well. So you can use either of this approach. In this second approach, what you can do is you can nicely convey what you want to achieve in your life, or you can say your career goal. Then you can talk about the unique skills, experience, knowledge that you bring with yourself. Also, tell them what are the skills and knowledge that you hope to gain through the MBA program. Before we go ahead, let's look at some opening paragraph samples. First, we will look at an ordinary way of introduction, and then we will look at a couple of impressive introductions which will give you a fair idea about how you can draft one for yourself. Now let's look at how to write the first body paragraph. So it comprises of your academic background, that is what you have done so far, what you are currently pursuing, your academic strengths, projects, industrial exposure you have attained, etc. Just a word of caution over here, as I mentioned earlier, avoid being very emotional here by saying I am from a very poor background, I am from a small village, etc. Then you can talk about your achievements at school or college level. If you have work experience, then talk about it along with the professional accomplishment, that is completing a challenging project, recognition as employee of the year, etc. You can also highlight your skill sets, strengths, etc. in this section. Since we have understood what to mention in the body paragraph 1, let's look at a couple of ways of drafting the first body paragraph. let's look at the body paragraph 2. Here you can explain why do you feel the need for MBA in more detail. You can also share an incident or experience for the same in brief. You can talk about the skills and knowledge that you hope to gain through the MBA program. Explain them why you have chosen this college. Don't mention about the reputation, professors, placements, etc. as these are very obvious points. Also tell them how you will be a value addition to this college. So these are the points that you can include in body paragraph 2. Before going ahead, let's look at couple of sample writings for body paragraph 2. Now let's see how to create the closing paragraph, which is very important in terms of leaving a lasting impression. You can start by explaining what you want to do right after completion of your program. Do you want to take up a job or set a startup, something like that. Also talk about how you will move forward in order to achieve your career goals. Don't miss to mention how you want to contribute towards the betterment of the society or your countrymen. Remember that this paragraph should conclude your desire and readiness towards joining this program. Since this is the closing paragraph, you should sound focused and prepared for all the challenges that come your way. It should also show that you have that zest in you to succeed, and with the help of the chosen MBA program, you will definitely make a difference in the industry at a global scale. Let me show you a couple of closing paragraph samples so that you can get a fair idea about how you can leave a lasting impression. Now let me show you a list of questions which you can use to get the writing points for your own SOP. Ideally, you can just write down the answers for each of this question and then start drafting your SOP as per the structure explained earlier. Hope this will help you in coming up with an impressive SOP. Do let me know in the comment section how did you find this video. I'll be eagerly waiting for your comments.